Hey guys, welcome back for segment 2 of To Speak My Truth. I'm really excited because this is a genre that I honestly truly know nothing about, and it's something I'm really excited about my guest because she is a part of it. She's being very open and honest about it, and it's plastic surgery. And I don't know if a lot of you guys do know, but plastic surgery is something that I do want eventually down the line after my career. And talking to her is really going to give me a good place of the right info for it and all the aspects of it. It's picking the doctor, doing your research, the recovery, all that kinds of stuff. So Mariah Rodgers is a former D1 softball player at St. John's University, which is where I met her. She is now a fabulous mother and a health and wellness advocate, and runs a review page along with consulting business. And she has a couple tasks that go with that, and it also involves a surgery tour, which I can't wait to get to ask her about because I really want to know what that entails. And right now, I'm really excited. She's writing a book that comes out in a few days. So I'm excited to get to know her about her life right now, what she's been doing. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to write in on the bottom of your page. I think it's exactly where my finger is a little question mark with a box. And that's where you can write your questions and ask her really open and honest questions about plastic surgery and what goes into it. If this is something that you have been thinking about, and I know it's a day and age where it's open and it's welcomed, and I know a lot of people have little insecurities, and you know, God has made you perfect and in his image, but still there's always things that you wish you could do to your body, and it's something that I obviously want to do to my body. So with talking to my husband and stuff like that, this is really going to help open it up and get the real life one-on-one segment that I wanted about the issue. So without further ado, I'm going to add Mariah. I'm really excited. So make sure you have questions and let's get started.
Hi. So first of all, I want to say thank you for giving me a reason to actually get up and brush some hair. You know, I got to pick my sauce from Fierce.
Oh my God, girl, please. You always look fabulous. You always look blessed. As soon as I put it, I don't know what happened to my applause. I'm so upset. But I'm so sorry. I'm going to find it. I will get it together. You will get your applause. But you always look blessed. And everyone that I've promoted, like your poster, they were like, who is that? I was like, yes, I know. I may not be coming correct, but she does all the time.
Well, you know, I won't say all the time. Now, people that follow my surgery blog page, you guys know I look a hot mess half the time. Hey, Patty, I look a hot mess half the time on my lives. And these girls be like, is this really what you look like? This can't be her.
I feel like you always are just so well put together. But even in college, you like, even on your rough days, you were just like hoodie, hair tied, still with no makeup on, and I was just like, damn. Like, I need to get on some kind of level.
So sweet. You're so sweet.
So
I know there's some college throwbacks that I do not want to leak. So if you knew me in college, erase. Erase.
I feel like when I see pictures from college, I'm like, oh no, was I really thinking I was killing it?
I was like, nobody helped me. Nobody told me that day that wasn't it. Nobody told me to put a little eyebrow on or anything. Okay.
Nobody was going to tell me that I looked like a hot mess. Nobody wanted to be my friend. That's totally fine. That's okay. But I remember, I mean, we got closer towards the end of my career at St. John's. And so I'm so glad that we did connect and we hung out as much as we did. And I was there for I think the middle part of your whole side tat. So when you were doing it, I was so in shock and I was so in all of your tattoo. And I was like, I wish I had the balls to do something like that.
Oh my God, you remember my tattoo?
Yes.
So this tattoo that I have on my back, I got it in college. So in college, I wasn't like super into drinking. Like I kind of was, but like I had to play softball the next day. So, but tattoo shop, I would take my little stipend check and go right to Jamaica Ave.
Yes.
And I don't even know what I want. Like, so like most of my tattoos that I have are from, like, these are all from college. Maybe not that one. But like, so I got this super big back tattoo in college, and I would be like bleeding through my jersey and like trying to hide it from my coach. Like, it was an interesting moment.
But I feel like we all just, to be honest, we didn't even care. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get this applause now so I can get it. I'm so mad. I don't know what I did. We'll do this. Yeah. There it is. There's her applause. I don't know what I did. I'm new to this game, and I'm trying to be the audio, production, media. I'm doing all of it, and I'm learning along the way. But you got your applause. But yeah,
It's been awesome. I've been watching some of your interviews. It's been awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm like, what happened?
I don't know how you softball players did it. I feel like you guys had like the 5 a.m. practices sometimes and 6 a.m. practices, running hills. I was like, oh no, at least like for track, we knew what we were signing up for. But you guys got in trouble a lot.
We got in trouble a lot, and I would say like that would be where my weight really started to go up and down. Like my freshman year of college, I thought like I was working out so much that I could eat whatever I wanted to. I was in the calf eating like pizza and
fries
out, and my weight like went up, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not cute. Hold on. So I mean, my freshman, it was not a freshman 15, it was probably a freshman 25. It was just like, it was gross. And then I did the summer session because I was trying to get my grades up. You know, I was trying to get my grades. So I did summer session. I was in New York. I was by myself. All my roommates had gone home. I had started like a couple of different programs. I was walking a lot. I used to walk all the way to Jamaica Ave and pray I didn't get robbed.
Right? Lord.
So I came back and I had no muscle, and my coach looked at me and she said, I signed you to be a power hitter, not like a runner. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. The bar was falling on me. I was like, I had no muscle. So I just had to learn like how to be like not so extreme. Like I'm either one way or another. So like just like kind of learning balances. But college is definitely where my weight started to go up and down, up and down. Even to this day, it goes up and down. Hey, Sig. I'll give a little shout outs as they jump on.
I feel like that's one thing that, I mean, I'm going to talk about a lot tomorrow with one of the college coaches, but I feel like coaches will say like, oh, your weight is an issue, or your body is an issue, or this is an issue, but they don't ever say, here's the solution. Here's the plan that we're going to follow so that we can get the most out of you for this position or for this part of your season. It's always like, you're too heavy. Well, bitch, tell me how to figure it out. Like, what am I supposed to do?
It was really sad. Like, they had me and another one of my teammates, like, we would have to do extra workouts. And I'm like, why do I have to do extra workouts? First of all, I was a utility player. So I was pitching. I was running when the pitchers were running. When the infield had to do their run, all of a sudden I was running with them. I was a DH, so I was hitting ball. I was just like, okay, I don't understand why I'm working so hard.
Yeah, for real. And you think about it, and they don't ever, I guess it's the thing. It's like, fine, we want you to work hard because we value you. We need you to do this, this, and this. But it wasn't really strategic. It was just like, if we need you to lose weight, go run.
Right. Like, and I ended up tearing my hip flexor my sophomore year of college. And that was pretty much the downfall of my career. I ended up transferring to ASU, Arizona State. Wanted to be more closer to home. It was like, I just want to be closer to home and have that experience or whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I played the fall and then I couldn't play the regular season. And it was like, do you want to be a softball player or do you like want to be able to walk? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take walking. So that's kind of like when I first transitioned.
Yeah, walking seems pretty important, but I didn't know that. I knew that you had transferred, but I didn't know exactly why. And do you feel like all the things that happened, are you in a sense like blessed that it happened the way that they did? Like, do you feel like you would have stayed in St. John's, would it have benefited you? Like, do you feel like you took anything positive from it?
I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
When I transferred and then, I was like, I'm no longer going to play softball. I was like, well, what else am I good at? Like, I've been a softball player since I was 5 years old. Like, my whole life has been planned. So I kind of had like that cultural shock of like, I'm no longer an athlete. Like, what do I do? And my friend at the time, he was selling cars and he's like, why don't you try it? I'm making money, so why don't you try it? And I was like, okay. And I found out that I was really good at sales. I was one of the top sellers there. I became a manager there. And that kind of like, it gave me a different type of confidence because I was making my own money. I was always a hard worker before, but it gave me a different type of confidence that like, you are more than just an athlete. Like you can do other things.
Yeah. I think that's the scariest thing for people. That is the scariest thing. When you've been doing this for so long, and I can tell you right now, people are always constantly asking me, what are you doing after track? And I'm like, can you give me a moment? I'm still in this. Like, no matter what, we'll be at like a classy dinner. It'll be at a barbecue. It doesn't matter. Well, what are you doing after track? Like, I'm like, I don't know.
That's a lot of pressure. It's
like,
a lot
I
of
don't
pressure.
know. And I'm super open about it. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay.
I'll let you know when I cross that bridge.
Right? Like, I'll get there. Give me a moment. Y'all can follow my journey. But I'm so glad that you're doing well. I do want to jump into your career now, what you've been up to. Please tell me about what you do for a living right now.
If I told you everything I did for a living, we'd be here for another 3 hours.
I mean, a lot of people at home ain't got
any and everything. But I can tell you, right now I'm working on my teaching credential because I'm trying to have a stable job now that I have a son. So I'm working on my teaching credential. I've done like substitute teaching, which has been cool and kind of like double tapping in. My mom's been a teacher for 20 years. And I never wanted to be a teacher because of her. And now I'm like, wait, you mean you get paid for 12 months and only work 9? Okay, yeah, let me put that down. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Jenny. So that's like my stable job. But other than that, my surgery blog does bring in some income for me as well. I do a lot of things, but it's really like my passion. So having something stable is like a goal, and then also having my passion. I've had numerous of surgeries. I'm very open about it. And 4 years ago, I realized there was a lot of girls that were getting scammed. There were a lot of girls that weren't preparing their bodies properly. Girls that were just going anywhere and doing anything. And so I wanted to create something where people can be safe, kind of learn, have like a community and things of that sort. So with my surgery blog, of course, I post facts. I do different interviews with different doctors. I go and travel. I've been to the Dominican Republic. I've been to Miami. I will soon go to Colombia, hopefully when everything is open. But it's just such a huge world. Surgery, it's just a huge world. So I'm working on my book. There's another thing.
Yay!
So my book has to do with, I guess, the surgery world and kind of mainly dealing with like the mental side of why are you getting surgery? We see surgery. We're on social media. We see all these girls. Half the time, these girls they'll send me their wish pic. I want to look like her. And I'm like, she doesn't look like her. These are apps. These are Photoshop. This is lighting, camera action. So just dealing with like the mental side of like, are you doing this because you want to do it and you want to better yourself? Or are you doing this because you want to, I want a husband, so now I need to get a big booty and boobs. Like, no, that's not why you do something. So that's kind of like a little splash of what I'm into.
That's amazing. And I love that you're making it work and you're balancing and you're just like, I want my income, my regular income, but then I also am able to tap into my passion and do that as well. And it's such and when I spoke about this, when I introed it, it is something that I feel like a lot of people don't know. It's like a genre that they're just like it's very like taboo in a sense to talk about. But I think it's necessary because, like you said, when I started researching to get plastic surgery, the first place I looked was Colombia. That was that was the number one thing that came up. And so when you do more research, it's like, well, do you really want to? What are their rehab centers looking like? What are the doctors, the knowledge, and all that kind of stuff? And then you see these, I guess, botched, like the show and stuff, and I'm like, how are you spending this much money and you botched? What did you botch?
I have a case. I have a girl that went to Dr. Miami. Everyone talks about Dr. Miami. And I mean, personally, in my opinion, he's very overrated.
Okay.
Some of the results.
Well,
But anyways, he had a whole botch case. Like the girl, I mean, I was in tears when I saw her pictures, and you know, when she reached out to me, and I was just like, this is why I want girls to do their research. Like, yeah, you want to have surgery, don't just go down the street. My first surgery, I literally typed in lipo BBL, and I went down the street, and I literally could have taken $7,000 and put it in the toilet and flushed it. Like, that's literally, I had no results. Like, I was like, this is not it. I don't know what I did, but that wasn't it. And I was 20 years old at that time.
Oh my
gosh.
I
always talk about my different experiences with surgery and like just hoping that people will learn from my mistakes. And if you are planning to travel abroad, how to be safe, like who to trust, who's, you know, there's been cases where like they'll have, people will create fake Instagram pages. They'll put different recovery houses, which is where you stay after surgery for about 2 weeks to heal, and nurses take care of you. They'll post like fake pictures, and they'll take people's deposit money, and it's like a complete fake page. I mean, I've seen it all, like the 4 years I've been in the world. So
gosh,
yeah,
that is insane. And I feel like it's something that most people would do the over amount of research for. Like when you talk about going under the knife, it's something that you would, and you're putting all this money into it, you would hope that they were doing the most research. But apparently that's not the case. And I can't believe that professional institutions and doctors are faking it. Like, that's insane.
I got some water on that one. Yeah, I mean, there's actually been doctors that are posting before and after results with Photoshop. There's been also doctors, well-known doctors. There's a well-known doctor in Atlanta, actually, that decided he was going to post somebody else's work as his own work. That was interesting. So it's like if no one's there, like paying
to call
attention,
them out.
Yes, like these doctors get away with murder and just take your money.
Oh, yes. No, child. Absolutely not. I did it again. And this is something that this is a genre that I don't know. But I'm very surprised after going and visiting your page. I was like, damn, they be lying out here in these streets to these poor girls. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so what have you done cosmetically?
Ooh, that's not funny. Ooh, I
was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, so my first round of surgery, so when you say rounds, that's
okay.
time underneath the knife. So my first round of surgery, I did a lipo BBL, which is where you take the fat from your stomach and you put it into your buttocks.
Oh,
I did not see many results. I don't know if you remember, but I had no booty at all.
That was always your thing. You were like, I ain't got no booty. And I was like,
I was squatting 305 in college and still had no booty. My legs were just too strong. So I was like, oh no, I'm getting a booty. As soon as I'm not out there, I'm getting a booty.
Yeah.
So that was the surgery that I said I definitely should have just thrown my money out the window. I should have just donated it because I didn't see any results. My second round of surgery was maybe 3 years after that. I went to a doctor. He kind of fixed a little bit. He decided, you know, I did another lipo and BBL, lipo, and then put it into the butt. I'm trying to make sure everybody's on the same page. I definitely saw results there, but I thought that I had to feed the booty. So I was over here eating peanut butter, eating just dumb stuff. I was on a peanut butter diet. And within like 3-4 weeks of this peanut butter diet, I started to have everything grow. So once you have surgery, everything that you did not lipo is what grows first. So my chin, I started to have a little double chin. Oh, God. I was kind of flabby. I was like, what is that? Oh, no. And so that's when I really got into weight loss and like how to do things naturally. Because at this point, I'm like, all right, girl, we didn't spend a lot of money on surgery.
Yes.
Let's just tap in. So I definitely, I started to work out. I started to eat right. I started to look, oh, that's so cool. I started to just do things like the right way, kind of just researching foods. So when back in the day, like I said, in college, when I was dieting and my coach was telling me I was too big, too small, too big, I didn't really know like why I shouldn't eat certain foods and why to stay away from certain things and why this is healthier choices. And so once I decided to, research and really educate myself on that end, I knew why I didn't want to eat certain things and what I was putting into my body was harmful or wasn't helping the cause. And so that was kind of where I really learned about that.
Okay.
And then I got a hernia. So I had a hernia. It was about that big in my stomach. I don't know if it was from weightlifting. I don't know what it was from. But at the time I had really bad insurance. So they were
Okay.
telling me I needed $3,200 out of pocket for them to cut me this way
Oh my gosh.
to fix my hernia. And I was
Lord.
like, wait a minute, there's no light
Yeah.
bulb? There's no nothing going in the $3,200? What else y'all gonna do?
Right? For real, for real.
So this is where I decided, okay, I started looking at the Dominican Republic, you know, the surgery. And I honestly, you guys, I thought they were lying. I was seeing their pages and I was like, these girls can't be looking like this.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, somebody is lying.
Right?
And so I started following girls like before they would go and then like seeing that like they're after, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is really possible. So, you know, I saved up my money. I was working for a healthcare company at the time, and I was working overtime. I promise you, a good thing I don't work there anymore. I would sign up for overtime. They'd be like, who wants to be here at 5 a.m.? I was like, me! And I would be there from 5 a.m. and then work my regular shift. I was working so many hours. I was falling asleep on the phones. It was like a call center. I was falling asleep on the phones, still getting paid though. They can't even down. So yeah, I saved up my own money, went to the Dominican Republic, and I had that whole experience. So that's when I originally created that surgery blog and found that, you know, there are certain things that, you know, were going on and stuff like that. So I created that page, and I didn't know 4 years later it would boom the way it boomed. So
yeah. Well, again, because it's the truth, it's honest, and it's somebody who's actually calling people out on their shit. It's really what people need. They really need that help. And especially when you can't find, there's so many ways to research things and you don't honestly know if it's true or if it's not, because if the doctors start lying, how do you know who's lying or who's not? So I'm glad that you opened the page. I'm glad it's from real experience. And I mean, you look fabulous. You look blessed either way. I mean, it's amazing what you've done. And you throughout this, you've had a son.
Oh, legend. That's why I'm hiding in my car now. Legend is definitely a blessing. He's one. He just turned 1.
Oh.
So Legend's definitely a blessing. He came 5 weeks early.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people ask me, like, you had all these surgeries and then you had a baby. Like, what's going on with that? Like, did you not have room to grow? Why were you so small? Like, I got asked so many stupid questions when I was pregnant.
People just have no feel. I don't know. People be interesting.
I was like, I'm pregnant. Leave me alone. I'm swollen. I'm big. I'm fat.
You were definitely not fat during your pregnancy. Definitely not fat.
So I was fat in other ways. Everything was growing but my stomach. My butt was so big. I was getting hollered at. Let me tell you guys a story. I was getting hollered at. I worked at Lululemon. I still work for Lululemon. I was working at Lululemon. I was 6 months pregnant at the time, working at Lululemon, doing my thing. And this guy came in and he was like, hey, can you show me where the pants are? I'm doing my job, showing them pants and stuff. And he was like, hey, like, you know, I'd like to get to know you. Can I give you my number? And it was so awkward because I'm like, how do I tell this man I'm 6 months pregnant? I was like, he's going to think I'm curvy. So I was like, you know, no disrespect, but I'm not interested right now. Well, why did it kept persisting? And I'm like, I'm 6 months pregnant. And he was like, man, Shawty, I never heard a curve line like that. I was
oh my God.
I got cussed out in the store. He said he'd never heard a curve line like that before. Just tell me you're not. I'm like, oh Lord. But anyways, that's a funny story.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
So we just laughed at 6 months pregnant. My stomach wasn't big. I mean, I just looked fat. My nose was 9 months pregnant the whole time. Since I was 7 weeks, my nose was like this big and pregnant, in my butt, my hips, everything. I left the hospital. I was 232 pounds. I got really sick at the end. I was
wow.
I'm only 5'5", so that was not a good look for me.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. You have been through it with this pregnancy. From not looking pregnant to having...
And then getting a divorce 6 weeks after you had a baby.
Oh my gosh.
Take the wheel.
Take the wheel, Jesus. Take the wheel. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so you had the surgery, you got pregnant, and then you got divorced. When did you get married in that time?
No, I got married June 2nd, 2015.
Oh, okay.
I had been married for a long time, and well, not for a long time, for almost 4 years, 5 years or so.
Oh, wow.
And I would get those questions, when are you guys gonna have a baby? When are you guys gonna have a baby?
God.
And I was
We
like,
get that shit all the time. It's in one ear, not the other.
don't rush. Baby comes when it's supposed to come. I would not like rush to the baby portion, because like you still want to have fun. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to do your thing and get cute and not
people
have to
ask
worry
me
about
that more than I ever thought I would be asked as soon as I got married. And my mom still, prays. She goes to church and just prays just for that, for me to have a child. Meanwhile, my sister is pregnant with number 6, and I'm like, Mom, right now. I'm like, Mom, I don't want a baby, and I have not wanted a baby for a long time, and I love children, I love my nieces, and I love my nephews, and I love my brothers and my sisters, but no, I don't want a baby. It's just not what I want. And people are just like, oh, you'll change your mind. I'm like, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I'm not. Like, if I do, it's because my husband and I had a great night of wine and fun. But other than that, I'm like, mind your damn business. Like, I want to have 6-7 figures in my bank account. I want to have property. I want to have travel. I want so much more before I can bring a child into this world. So please back the fuck up. Like,
children are so expensive. It's a blessing, but it's definitely has slowed me down a lot. And kind of like redirected my life, but in a good way.
Okay.
But I would say like my ex-husband and I knew we were gonna go our separate ways. And then I just randomly got pregnant. I don't know how. Okay. And that's one thing when you stick around too long, when you wasn't supposed to stick around too long.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you now.
Yeah.
So, we were supposed to go our separate ways, and then I randomly got pregnant a couple months after, and then it was like, okay, let's try to work this out, but then it just still wasn't working out. So I would be the one to say like babies don't fix situations either. I don't know any girl that's like, I'm gonna have a baby. No, it doesn't fix any situations. It complicates it. It
complicates it. That's what I definitely can see that, and I feel bad for women that do believe that that's going to happen. Like, it'll keep him around. It's just going to make it's going to make your child's life a lot.
It did not keep him around.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where they think this, but I mean, I'm glad you're saying it, because I'm like, thank God. I mean, I don't have children, so it's not like I can say anything, but I'm glad somebody else said it.
Right. But I was really young when I got married. I was 23. I didn't know what marriage was. I thought it was, I love you, you love me, let's get married. And that's really not what marriage is. I mean, it's a portion of it. Of course, you have to have love. But, I mean, you have to realize, like, you need to be on the same page about a lot of things. And I think nowadays in our generation, we're so scared to talk about certain things and really get to know people deeply. But, I mean, we need to be on the same page about finances. What are your finance goals? Do I want to invest in retail, real estate and investment properties, and you want to buy Louis Gucci Fendi? Or like, what we have to be on the same page about that, or we're gonna have complications later on.
Absolutely.
How do you see what kind of family do you want to raise? Like, what are your morals? Like, how did you grow up? How did I grow up? And then also having like a cultural difference, that was also tough at times as well. So I mean, it's not that it couldn't be done with a cultural difference, but
sorry guys, I think I lost her for a second. Give me 1 second while we try and reconnect. Yeah, sorry guys. I'll add her back in 1 second. I'm with Mariah Rodgers right now, and she is writing her own book and talks about plastic surgery recovery and rehab, and does the research for all women who are interested in plastic surgery. And that's pretty much what her book is about. She's a divorced single mother who is very open and honest about her journey. And she's absolutely great. I've been loving this conversation. So I'm going to see if I can add her back in a second. I know that she is extremely busy, and so I know that this kind of fits into her day a little bit. But again, if you guys have questions or there's any kind of information that you guys want, just let me know. And and we'll definitely make sure that we ask those questions. But we're gonna add her back really quick. So stay with me here a little bit.
Okay, you guys, you're never gonna believe this. My phone got too hot. It was like, "Ooh, this conversation is juicy, girl." Brrr, too hot. I've got the air conditioning blowing on it now, so I apologize. I was like,
girl,
are we serious right now? Are we
something
serious?
always happens. I promise. Something always happens. This is good to prepare me for anything that can happen. So trust, I completely understand. But you can keep going.
Sorry.
I feel like so interested. I'm like,
Oh, you're like, tell us more, girl. So, I think I was talking about just like marriage and like being on the same page about a lot of different topics, and not just getting married just because you want the wedding, or not getting married because you just want to say I'm married. Ooh, I'm married. Yeah. You know, just really like getting to know people. And honestly, so I've been off the market for 5 years. Dating is so weird nowadays. I don't know what it is. Dating is so weird. I don't know if it's social media.
You have so much social media. So that's one. It's not like you can go to a bar and just enjoy. It's like you've got to be perfect on social media and do the outside thing. Like that's like a full-time job, I think dating is. I swear.
You said it's a full-time job.
Job.
It's not even that. I think honestly it's more of like the expectations are so different nowadays dating. Like men, I feel like things are very temporary nowadays. People are very scared. They're scared to be heartbroken. They're scared to look stupid. So in return, it's just an ongoing cycle. It's like, you know, I'm scared to get hurt and like somebody too much. So we start to, you know, people start to talk and they start to get to know each other. And then they're like, oh no, this one, I might fall in love with this one. Let me go back up. And it's just really, dating is very interesting and expectations are very different. And I don't know. I mean, being single, I'm enjoying it and healing and doing my thing. But my goodness, these people is I mean, how do you keep people's attention when you got people pop lopping it and dropping it on live? I mean, I'm like,
and up in your DMs without a care. You could be married with children. They still roll up in your DM like, it's okay, I'm good. Like, can you fall back? But I think
they don't care.
My biggest thing is people ask me a lot about like different advice and how I've grown and all this kind of stuff and how I got married. And I'm like, I'm 30. I was engaged when I was like 24, something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm such a different person than I was before to the person that I am now. And I used to care about the superficial things. And now I'm like, what you said, it's about the long run. And we didn't give a shit about our wedding. I was like, as long as my man shows up and somebody can marry us, great. That was the most important thing. I was like, I don't need all these people in the audience being like, her dresses, her hair is, her makeup.
Who did that?
Right? Like, I don't need your opinion. Your opinion means nothing to me. I'm not paying all this money for you to eat and to be like, the chicken's dry. They didn't have sauce. I don't need you. I don't need you or that negativity in my life. So my husband and I, when we went, I was just like, it was great because it was him and I, and it was about us being together, and we traveled for the first time together away, and that's what was most important. And for me, when we look at these things, we realize that I especially have to change the way I was in a relationship, because I was the arguer. I was the person to leave. I was the person that was the issue. And so he comes from a 2-parent household that has been married for 25 plus years. I didn't have that. I don't know that. I'm from a Hispanic and Antiguan background. We don't do the same things that white people do. We don't do it. I'm sorry. It's true. We don't. We have cultural different backgrounds. And so for me, I wanted to make sure that I was the change that I did want to see. So there was a lot about me that I ultimately not changed, but there wasn't always needed to be arguing. We could communicate like normal people. Like, what do you want? How is this going to go? And so I think that's what's more important for girls these days, but it is. We live in a society of change it up, on to the next. And but I also had to remove myself from that world. I'm not following all these people. I remember he unfollowed so many women. He's like, I don't need that. That's just temptation. That's not going to help me. Like, and it's these little things that are helping. But I think that every woman that's looking for a relationship needs to really just focus on herself, grind, be a badass woman, and a badass man will come and want to be your king. And that's
Right. Amen to that. And I will say, with my surgery blog, I get a lot of DMs, and a lot of these women, they really feel like they have to look a certain way in order to have a man's attention in a way. And I'm like, no, like they're going to be on to the next. And I'm always telling girls, like find a hobby, find a career, find something you're passionate about, like past your looks. Cause I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. It's 2020. Everybody got curves and booty, and you're not going to have something that these people have never seen before. Like, be your own person. What's your personality? Are you a good person? Or do you have a good heart? Like, those are things that, like, people are not, they're not genuine anymore. And I think that's what we're forgetting. Like, everybody almost looks the same nowadays. And for those people that do not fit the norm or whatever, like, embrace that. Embrace who you are. And if you want to make improvements and enhancements, I'm all for that. But you have to have some type of self-love there too as well. So I always tell people that. And I would say, like, my divorce really helped me become a better woman. Because even though I'm like, oh, he did this, and oh yeah, he did that, and I couldn't believe he did this. But at the end of the day, like, I was like, okay, well, let me take this time as a reflection, and, you know, a reflecting time. And like, let's see, like, okay, what is it that I could work on as a woman? What are those things? Like, not to say like, oh, because I did this is why this person did this.
No.
But I would say, like, that last year of my marriage, I prayed. I had to get into a different mentality of, you know, just because he's not doing that doesn't mean I shouldn't do this. Like, oh, I'm not going to do this. He didn't take the trash out. Oh, I'm not cooking dinner tonight. Like, I had to get out of that. And I really learned, and I think I grew as a woman. And then God told me it was my time to move around. So that's what we did. But, you know, I don't promote divorce or staying in situations that you're mentally and physically not happy. I promote happiness. So whatever it is that you got to do to be happy and communicate with your spouse, you know, that's what you got to do. But yeah, I think I definitely, someone just rolled over the complete curve. Like, nobody was going to see it. Like, it just kept it moving. Like, yeah. My bad. I have ADHD, but yeah. So I mean, I think the society, you know, man, I'm single, and I unfollowed all these girls and boys and people because I only follow like 200, maybe under 300 people, and that's not because I'm bougie. Like, can't follow you back. No. But if you're not promoting happiness or positive stuff,
healthy,
I don't want to see twerk contests every day. I don't want to see that.
No, and you know what? It's also about growing up. How old are you now?
I'm 28. Don't tell nobody. Next year, I'm going to be 28 again. 27. I'm counting backwards now. I might be 30 in 5 years.
Like, I'm 16. What you want?
Right. I'm 23.
I definitely, and it's true, because I would love to go back to the younger me and be like, no, boo-boo, don't do this. Don't be making these decisions. But the decisions that I made helped shape the person that I am, and I've grown, and I can speak about that. And I mean, yes, when I want to get, I want to get breast augmentation, and it's something that has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with my husband. When I told my husband, he was just like, I love you the way you are. You don't need it. Like, but if you want it, and this is something that you want, then fine. I'm not gonna say no. Like, no, I don't want you to get your boobs bigger. Like, but it's something that I've always wanted. And people, again, always have their opinion about what I want to do. It don't matter, but it's something that I want to do, and it has nothing to do about finding a man or anything like that. It's because I want to do it. It's something that has my whole family, like all the women have, except for me, because I'm the athlete and they ain't getting any bigger.
Them things is going, you got to hold them down. You still running around.
Don't take them around.
Oh, like, I got my breasts done in 2017, I think.
Oh, wow.
And so I used to get a lot of stigma. Like, people used to tell me, oh, well, you should wait until you have kids. You should wait until you have kids. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe that women should wait to be sexy until they're done having all their kids. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why can't I be sexy now? Why can't I feel good about myself now? Exactly. And so, sorry, guys. I will be all for it, and I'll tell you exactly where to go, because I got my gummy bears for $3,500. $3,500 in Miami.
Yeah, that's what they said. So when I was looking at it, it was about 6 to 8. And now I'm like, I know that I can get a really great for 4 to under 4. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be cheap. I'm not trying to skimp or cut corners. And it was actually, I wanted to go for my initial, what is it, when you first go and meet the doctor? Consultation? Yeah. So I was going to go, I had gone before. This is before I went to the 2016 Olympics. And yeah, and so I had done a little bit of research before, and so now I wanted to go. I was going to go in a couple months because one of the javelin throwers, she's a retired javelin thrower, she was like, I had to start taking medication and get injections because I had so much muscle from throwing in my breast. So she's like, I had to I had to reduce the muscle so that they could go in. So I wanted to go because this was supposed to be my last Olympics, and that was going to be my Olympic gift to myself. It was going to be my retirement gift. But then they moved it to next year, so a whole nother year
like,
must pass.
I gotta keep trading for another year.
I know. So but it is something. I mean, I'm still thinking about, and it was something that I wanted to do my butt as well. But at the time, they really hadn't perfected the butt, and everything that I saw was just like not what I wanted. And no slants on Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. But I was like, I just need it to look like a little more natural. Like, I'm not twerking at a concert. I'm at home with my husband. I just need a little something so that they know I'm not a high jumper no more. And I am a woman. That's pretty much all it is. But I will be coming to you. You know this.
Yay!
I do want to talk about your book. So I know you talked a little bit about it. When does it come out? And what's your target market right there?
I got people on my butt about this book right now, so thank you for bringing that trauma back to me. I'm going to need that to push it through. I'm about, I would say 85% done with the book. There's a lot of facts, into the book. I'm talking a lot about, if you're looking to surgery, what do you do? Like, what's a night plan for you? I'm talking a little bit about, like, how to prepare your body. A lot of women don't know that they're supposed to stop smoking months prior to the surgery, and really preparing your body. A lot of girls just think, like, I just get up and I go on a plane and I go, and that's not the case at all. You have to, iron is a really big deal in the book as well. When you're getting surgery, your hemo has to be at a certain level. So just talking about, like, preparing things and, some little boring stuff, and, like, how to choose a doctor.
We need this.
How to choose, how to choose a doctor. Choosing a doctor is almost like choosing a husband. Like, you're like, wait a minute, like, I need to interview this person. Let me see what's going on. So, and you're kind of, you're onto the right path about choosing a style. And I talk about how, if you don't want to look like Nicki Minaj, why would you go to a doctor that's cutting the Nicki Minaj's out of here? Like you want to go to a doctor maybe that has more of a natural look and looking for consistency and talking about that. And then also, like I said, the mental side of surgery, because I think women, when we get off the table, we're like, we don't look like Beyonce today. Like, I thought that I was gonna look like Beyonce. Like, no, it takes time. So honestly, when you're dealing with surgery, things take time. You're not gonna be popping those first 6 months. You're gonna be swollen. You're gonna be wearing a faja, which is like it's like a girdle, and it's not that cute. And you gotta wear that 24 hours a day for 3 months, and that's not cute.
Wow.
See, a lot of people don't know that. So everything that I wish I would have known prior to my surgeries, things that I might have, made my mistakes that I made in my surgeries, and just like information that I wish I would have had. Yeah. That's all in the book. So I'm like, hopefully people will just buy the book and read the book.
But it's true. I mean, these are literal things that people need to know about. And I think the book is definitely necessary and needed. And, I'll be reading it. Because I'm going to be like, I'm not wearing a girdle for 3 months. Forget it. I'll just do my squats and I'll just stuff my bra.
Forget it. I'm over it. Well, that's another thing. Like, when I got my breasts done, so I had gained weight and then lost weight. So my boobs deflated. They're like, I was like, wow. Jesus, what's going on? So I probably, looking back at it, I should have just left my boobs alone at that time. But, me being me, I get bored. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I went and got my boobs done. My doctor said, look, you really need a lift, which is where they lift your boobies up. Okay. But you can get away with getting a really big implant. And so I was like, oh, just give me the really big implant because I'm not ready for a lift. I'm going to do the lift after I have babies and whatever.
Wait,
So I did
hold
a
on
really
a
big.
second. Now I have to stop you. I thought when you got, again, this is the dumb, I haven't done
There's
this
no
kind
dumb
of
question.
research. What is it? I thought that when you got a boob job, they lifted and, is it 2 different surgeries?
It's 2 different surgeries. So if you have saggy boobies, you have to get it, and it's the same surgery. Okay, so when you get your boobs done, right, they typically cut you from unders. You can do armpits,
Yes.
whatever, and then they just put the implant in. Boom, you're done. Now, if you have saggy boobies, and you want your boobies lifted, they cut everything up and they cut some skin. It's like a tummy tuck on your boobs, basically. And then they put the implant in and then they lift it and you got like high boobs. So it's 2 different surgeries.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Not a clue. I did not know about that. Oh, jeez. Wow.
Right. So now I would like to get a breast
necessary.
lift because I did get the really big. Oh, she's got her puppies. I did get the really big implant, and then after that, when I had my boobs just got really big. And even like when I only breastfed for maybe 6 weeks because I was so sick. So even like with my, breasts going down and my body going down, my boobs are still just really big. And I want to get out there and be running and doing all that fun stuff again. So I'm definitely interested in a breast lift and reducing my boobs. I want to reduce everything. Let me reduce.
Oh, wow.
My boobs. I probably won't touch my butt because I love my butt, but everything else I want to be just smaller. Let me just be smaller and healthier.
Okay, I got you. Well, I appreciate you so much for opening up, telling me about this. I learned so much. I'm hoping everybody else did, because I think it's definitely necessary that we have positive information and women that want to help other women. So I thank you so much. I hope this is a good one. No, this is not.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me as well.
Oh my God, of course. Okay, we have one more little question for you from my husband, Ken, in Ken's corner. You're going to come on this side.
Hey, Ken! It's like Barbie and Ken, get it? Barbie and Ken.
What is your question, my love?
I got 2.
Oh,
okay.
One, is there surgery you won't get done that's just either not healthy enough or just not done right? And then 2, what's the worst?
One question at a time.
She's smart. She can handle
So
it.
one question. Right?
Okay, one at a time.
Okay, one cosmetic procedure that I would never get done, even though I don't like to say never. I would say I would never do illegal butt shots. People were getting these in their basements. They look okay for a while, and first of all, you don't even really know what they're injecting, so please don't ever do it. But there's a lot of women that are having a lot of complications from this procedure because it was very popular maybe 5 years ago. Nicki Minaj got them. Cardi B has talked about having them, and they're all getting them removed, which means that they have to go in there and they have to remove it, and then your butt looks deflated, and then they have to put fat in it, and it's just disgusting and it's really bad. So that would be
so injections are pretty much. Injections are where you inject the butt with whatever, just like
silicone butt shots. So all the butt shot stuff, leave it alone. If it's not your own fat, leave it alone.
Oh my God.
That's
okay,
good.
so that's one.
Yeah,
okay. And what's your second question?
We'll leave on that one. I wasn't expecting that. That was pretty intense.
Oh, leave it to me to say something you're not expecting.
All right, that's your only question?
That's it.
All right. Thank you, Ken. You're the best.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Of course. We will definitely talk soon. Thank you so much, sweetie. Good luck on the book, and I definitely will promote it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, and I just flipped the camera. I'm sorry, guys. You guys can see my kitchen now. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And it's been a great session with CJ and Mariah. I'm glad that she was so open and honest about her procedures. If you guys want more information, please go ahead and follow her. She's so knowledgeable and so sweet, and she'll definitely help you with whatever you need. I hope you guys have enjoyed the segment today. Tomorrow is all about track and field. So all my track people, get ready. Enjoy, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Yes. It's like a really big deal.